Hello everybody and welcome to the vlog. I've had a couple of subscribers now ask me if I could do this get to know me tag, and I thought, what a brilliant idea. So I'm sitting down, I have my mug of coffee, I have my new vlogging setup, I hope you like it. I'll be getting a lapel mic later, hopefully the audio quality will be a bit better. But I thought, what a brilliant idea. So I want to answer a few questions about me, tell you a little bit about myself, my background, and just so you get to know me a bit better. So the first question that I inevitably get asked is, where am I from? Or where do I live? And I'm from, and I still live in, Newcastle upon Tyne, which is a city in the northeast of England, for those who don't know. And I think the reason I get asked this so much is because of my accent. I don't have a stereotypical accent for my region. If you don't know what the Newcastle Geordie accent is, then if you look at Cheryl Cole, she was actually born and raised about 10 minutes away from where I live. And her accent compared to my accent is quite telling, just to show you that I don't have a regionally stereotypical accent. I get asked if I'm from Wales, I get asked if I'm from Texas. I don't quite know how they got that. Scotland, I can understand that. I perhaps say my A's slightly differently, and I have that slight lilt in my voice, which I think is perhaps where the questions arise, like, am I from Wales, or, yeah. But no, I'm from the northeast of England, I'm from Newcastle upon Tyne, the same area as Sting, as Cheryl Cole, as Robson Green. I just don't have the same stereotypical Geordie accent. Okay, so the second question, which I think I get asked the most, is when did I start YouTube? And there's a couple of different answers to that. It depends on what you mean, because if you mean when did I first join YouTube to start watching videos, then I joined YouTube about 10 years ago. But I only really sort of recently started doing it on a regular basis. So I started doing my game uploads about 5 months ago, and even that, it wasn't very regular. I only really started doing this really regular, multiple uploads a week about 3 weeks ago, and I'm really enjoying it. Other questions about me, I tend to get asked what's my gear setup. I think every YouTuber possible has had this question asked of them. What's my gear setup? Well, to be honest with you, I think people who ask this question are people who are either wanting to get started on YouTube, or already have a YouTube channel but aren't happy with the equipment they have, or are unsure as to what settings, etc. to use for vlogging, for this, for that, or for the other. And to be perfectly honest, my advice is use what you have. You can record on your phone and upload it, and if your personality is good, if your content is good, people will watch. Now, having said all of that about recording on your phone, etc., it does help if you have good quality gear, but you don't need the super expensive stuff. It helps, don't get me wrong, to have good quality footage, but just buy what you can afford. I started off with a Logitech HD 1080p webcam. I record most of my footage of me, for example, on my camcorder, which is a Sony HD CX450. That costs about £200 to £300. I actually found mine for £50 on eBay. Great place to look if you're wanting decent quality, low price tech. But I have to admit, my most expensive piece of kit is my DSLR. Now this I bought way before I started doing YouTube regularly. I actually use this for my photography. I am a very keen photographer, but I also use it for close-up video shots where I want high depth of field. Do I have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have an elder brother. He lives down in New York with his wife and 2 children, who I am very, very lucky to be able to go and see. I've actually just been there today, and they're great little children, they really are. I have a nephew and a niece, and I love them to bits. Another question I get asked is, what hobbies do I have? Well, I've already spoken about photography and obviously videography. That's why I do YouTube. I enjoy making and taking videos, and games, obviously. I do card making. I do so many different types of hobbies, mainly crafts. I do card making, weaving, sewing, cross-stitch, knitting, digital arts, like I say, photography and photo manipulation, and so many different hobbies. I'm also very much into history. I love history and all things medieval. I actually volunteer at the local castle. I want to do a video taking everybody around the castle and doing a video tour of the keep and the castle grounds. I think that would be really interesting to do. If you want to get me talking on anything, get me started on historical stuff. I love history. I also love practical history. I love taking things and finding out how they did things. So I do calligraphy, I do drop spindle spinning, and a lot of my hobbies stem from things that I learned through medieval recreation groups. I was a member of the SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism, for many years. And yes, I just love history, particularly that period, the medieval history and the Tudor period, everything related to it. Now I'm into questions that I'm thinking up that you might be interested in. Okay, so what else would you like to know? So perhaps, what's my favourite book? I think my favourite book is The Lord of the Rings. Not just the films, but the books as well. The books were actually read to me as a bedtime story by my mum and dad ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And I loved them. And of course, when the films came out, I fell in love with the films. Harry Potter as well, I enjoyed, but Lord of the Rings is my absolute favourite. In fact, when I went to university, I did English literature at university, and my dissertation was allegory and applicability in The Lord of the Rings. There was so much to talk about, and it's a really, really interesting topic. So really, I can't think of anything else that you might want to know. If there is anything, leave a question in the comments below and I'll answer it. And thank you so much for watching, guys, as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.